It's an issue with our industry for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Bubba, being in the fighting game community is a hot take for anybody watching.
If you're feeling uncomfortable, imagine how often and how regularly the person you're trying to stand up for feels that way, and they don't even say anything to initiate it. They just are, and someone's attacking them for who they are without even being provoked.
Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games.
Help is on the way, dear.
Did he make it in? Did he get all 20? Yes, way to go. If you'd like to be on Invite Sent, be interviewed, and play video games, please go to bubbagatter.com and request to be on the show. And I'll let you know if the invite is sent. Yeah, get him.
There you go.
Welcome to Invite Sent. Boom! It's an issue with our industry for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Bubba, being in the fighting game community is a hot take for anybody watching.
If you're feeling uncomfortable, imagine how often and how regularly the person you're trying to stand up for feels that way, and they don't even say anything to initiate it. They just are, and someone's attacking them for who they are without even being provoked.
Welcome to Invite Sent. We are a live streaming show where we interview people and play video games.
Help is on the way, dear.
Did he make it in? Did he get all 20? Yes, way to go. If you'd like to be on Invite Sent, be interviewed, and play video games, please go to bubbagatter.com and request to be on the show. And I'll let you know if the invite is sent. Yeah, get him.
There you go.
Welcome to Invite Sent. Boom! Let's go. It's an issue with our industry. 765.
Yeah, I mean,
4,
Bubba, being in the
3,
fighting game community is a hot take for anybody
1.
watching.
Welcome.
If you're feeling uncomfortable.
Welcome. Hello, and welcome to Invite Sent. Welcome to Invite Sent. Thank you so much for being here, Thomas Woodhams. This looks like a fun podcast. Kyle Party 64. Hello, over in Twitch land, and thanks, Thomas, in LinkedIn land. We are on multiple platforms today, as always. Kick, 2 different Twitters, 2 different YouTubes, 2 different LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. Thank you guys for being here. Kyle, what's up? I like the emotes. I don't even know what that is. It's like a praying devil cat. We'll just go with that. We're going to play a little bit of video games today, and we're going to talk to an amazing guest today who is going to wow us with the amazing things of gaming and esports. And we're going to play some Mario Kart. And while we play Mario Kart, it's going to be difficult to try and be able to play this game because it's hard to do those things at the same time. That's why we have our show, Invite Sent, where we play video games, interview people. And I'm going to bring in our guests. Freddie, how are you today?
Bubba, I am great, man. How are you?
I am great. I was going to ask you beforehand, is it Halstead or Halstead?
Halstead.
I know you've told me that before. Okay, we're jumping right in. Balloon battle.
Oh, no.
Here we go, Mario Kart. If you guys are in the chat, tell you how this is going to go. So I think this one definitely is trying to knock each other's balloons. I think I have a couple different people, or a couple different robots in here. Okay, and while we're talking, what was the first video game you ever played?
Bubba, I am an old man. Pong on the Commodore 64.
Commodore 64. Okay. And how did the Commodore 64 come about? Was that a present, or?
It was my dad. He was in executive search, and he said, "You know what? We need a laptop, or we need a PC." So we got one. And
nice.
Yeah.
What was the PC used for then? Was it word processor?
Yes, very basic stuff. And my dad. Yes, exactly. Mm-hmm. It was so he could feel tech savvy, which he's completely lost the need to feel that way.
Oh, so wait, he's not tech savvy anymore?
No.
Your parents, are they boomers?
They are. My dad is 80 and my mom is younger than that. We'll just say that. And yeah, in fact they're moving about now, and we've been helping them with that. And a lot of that help has been in the form of tech support.
Now, how many kids do you got?
So I have one 10-year-old little girl. Little girl, she's in 5th grade, Bubba. Yeah, one 10-year-old.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. So my mom's on YouTube. Hey, Mom. Yes. Did you play Pong, Mom? I know my dad worked at Radio Shack, so we had all sorts of crazy stuff when we were growing up. We had the Trash 80, Tandy, all sorts of fun stuff, IBMs, and my mom, yeah, she's a boomer. And are you Gen X?
I'm 50, Bubba.
What? No, you're not.
50.
No, you're
actually, I'm 51.
No way.
Yes. That's why we're playing Mario Kart.
You're spry, I tell you.
I get that a lot. I don't feel spry most mornings, but yeah.
I went to the gym today and was like, why am I here? Oh, God, I'm just walking. I don't know what to be here. Hot tub time. So Gen Xer, as a 70s kid, what game did you play the most growing up?
Man, we played a lot of Mario and then a lot of Zelda. Very, very big with me and my buddies. Playing Zelda, and we beat it. I don't remember how long it took, but we finally beat it, and it was amazing.
Like the Zelda, the Legend of Zelda, the gold case.
Yes. Nintendo 64?
Oh wait, Nintendo 64. No,
is that right?
NES.
No.
NES.
Yes.
Nintendo's. I was learning about game cartridges and development. And hey, my brother's on. Yes, Tandy color computer. So my mom's here talking about boomers. My brother's in here talking about Tandy color computers. Yes, we did. I was learning about game cartridges and save games and how the PlayStation 1 or 2 had the cartridges. If you guys remember that in the chat, I know my brother, we have that those cartridges you would slip in right above the I think it was a Super NES too, maybe the memory card slot.
Yeah.
And I was trying to figure out, like, because I love video game research and history, and I want to know like the first of it. I want to know what happened and how it happened. And the first game to save that you could save was Legend of Zelda in the gold case. It had like a watch battery or whatever, and so it didn't really save game. It just saved your spot, I guess.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. There wasn't like a save game option, but it was, I guess, overnight if you didn't turn off your system, or you did maybe. I guess if you did turn your system off, that's why it saved it.
Huh.
Yeah, so I was learning all about this, and then I went down this rabbit hole of would it be kind of fun to create some sort of a Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet, like historical movie about all the save games that are stuck in the cloud somewhere from all of our games over the years, and they're just out in the ether somewhere.
That would get it going.
No friends. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
You got nothing on your plate.
Yeah, nothing on my plate.
Yeah,
that's right. So Legend of Zelda, you guys beat it. This was the 80s, yeah?
Yes.
And
80s,
what other games did you play on the Nintendo? And when did you ever go up from NES? Did you go 64, Super Nintendo?
I think 64 was the highest, and it was sports games. So it was Madden, and then I distinctly remember kind of in college, lots of college football.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Did you play Tecmo Bowl?
Yeah, I played a little Tecmo Bowl. We didn't do a ton of it, but
yeah. Ooh, sweet. I got a crown for some reason.
Oh, congratulations.
I don't know what that's. 4.
I think that means you're getting whooped.
Oh. Oh, I'm pretty sure I shot the green turtle shells into myself multiple times now. Yeah, Techno Bowl.
Oh.
And so Madden would have been like PlayStation era. I don't actually know if I know Madden was on Sega. Did you have Sega? Were you a Sega Nintendo
We did
guy?
not have a Sega.
Yeah, were you a Nintendo guy?
Yeah. No, for Madden we had a PlayStation.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
my brother.
been a really long time.
My brother is talking. Yes, you had to blow in the cartridges. Yes, you had to blow in the cartridges.
Oh yes.
Which is funny because I was the guy who created the Fairchild system for the F channel, Jerry Lawson. His son was doing an interview because Jerry Lawson created the first cartridge system for consoles. Because we wouldn't have cartridges if he didn't create it, and it's the second to last day of Black History Month. He's African American. He was the one who created the cartridge system with the Fairchild, and his son was being interviewed, and he said, "Man, I think we were probably the first ones ever to blow in the cartridges because we had the first cartridges. My dad made them in the house in Jamaica, Queens." And then he said, and that's actually not the right thing you should do. I'm like, well, what's the right freaking thing to do? Because I think we used alcohol sometimes to put on the memory board, the card, or something. I don't know. Was alcohol bad? Like not like drinking alcohol, like rubbing alcohol.
Right. I would guess it was, but I don't know for certain.
Brian, if you're still there, like, what did we do besides blow it? I felt like we had to one, either blowing it or use rubbing alcohol, but like our Nintendo, we had to get the cartridge in just right, and then you wouldn't push it all the way in and go down. We would take it into the edge of it, and we push down in the edge until it would get to the right spot. It was just like you had to know it. Yeah, alcohol. See, I'm pretty sure we use rubbing alcohol because, like, don't you use that on not motherboards, but like circuit boards? Because that's what it was. I have no idea.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I'm gonna be dumb about this and just stick to my digital download mentality of my life.
Someone in the chat will know.
Someone in the chat. Okay, so you grew up in the NES world, Super Nintendo, and you said PlayStation.
Yep.
When was there like a time? Because now you work in the video game industry and esports industry. Like, when was there a time? Actually, I want to go through college first. What was your college? What were your college years like? I want to do that first.
That's a funny story.
Oh,
so
okay. Please.
I was actually a college cheerleader.
Okay, great.
And I was a marginally studious young man, and so I went.
I get it. I see what you did.
I went to the. Okay, I started off at Texas Tech, and then I went to the University of Alabama.
Okay.
And then I went back to Texas Tech for a semester, and then I went to the University of Georgia for a year, and then North Texas for a semester, and then the University of Oklahoma, where I graduated. Yeah. I was a cheerleader at all those schools and coached cheerleading at a couple of them. Right. And so my college experience, I'm a big and have always been a big college sports fan. And so I was always kind of trying to go where the good football teams were.
Yeah.
And did not a great job.
So it's funny that you said that. And I love that you wrote good football. You said good football teams because obviously we beat you because I went to Oklahoma State, if you remember.
Right. I do remember that.
We beat you finally as your last year in the Big 12. So that felt like, when we win every 17 years in football against OU, we have 365 days to feel good. And those other years, we just say, well, next year. Well, next year.
Well, now you have 20 years to feel good.
Whatever
it will end up being.
Until the SEC becomes NCAA, of course.
Exactly.
And what's funny, though, is I think we talked about this, but I tried out for our cheerleading squad at OSU because I wanted to be Pistol Pete. I wanted to be the mascot. Yeah. And that was part of the Spirit Squad, the cheerleading team. And I think I was like 22 or something. and insurance up to like 26 till your kids, whatever age out, it wasn't a thing then.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have health insurance, and so they didn't even let me try out because I didn't have health insurance. I was like, man, this stinks. It's like, well, I mean, I'm already a big guy. They're like, you're gonna get hurt. You're big, and who knows what'll happen to you, big guy. But yeah, I would love to have been. I had some friends that were Pistol Pete. That was a lot of fun.
That's cool. Yeah, I knew a lot of those folks. The cheerleading world is kind of akin to esports, and everybody knows everybody. And
right.
especially kind of at the level I was at, which makes my current kind of esports gaming one of my interests even more interesting, because we set up kind of LAN stations at cheerleading competitions. So like,
really?
This weekend there's going to be 130,000 people over 3 days at NCA All-Star Nationals, and we will set up a gaming area so that you can drop off your 12-year-old with us instead of wearing you out for the entire day, and they pay by the hour, and we have some tournaments. But it's really interesting kind of being back with and seeing all these old cheerleading friends and that I haven't seen in 30 years. So it's really interesting.
So how long have you been doing LAN events at cheerleading events?
This is our second year, and then this year we're starting volleyball as well. So there's in April there's a volleyball tournament that has 270,000 people, parents and competitors, over 3 weekends, and we'll be set up there the whole time.
Wow.
And then
really
another
cool.
another cheer event in April, and then we're talking to USA Volleyball about going to their nationals, and it's a fun deal.
I love that, man. That's so great. That's a great. It's in my years in sports, traditional sports, we were always we've got the softball, basketball, or baseball fields. You've got to have the playground for the siblings. Yeah. And this place we were trying to, and here in Kansas City, we were trying to build a new facility before I left the chamber, and we did. The place we're imitating was in Illinois, maybe. Okay. And it called Grand whatever sports facility, but there was a huge esports gaming LAN center that they put next to the playground too, because why not? Yeah. All these siblings and the kids who probably also play all the sports want to come hang out in there. So it makes total sense. What kind of games are played at these events? What kind of video games?
We have to be kid friendly, obviously, and so it's a lot of Fortnite, an inordinate amount of Fortnite. But then it's some sport games, some Switch games. I think more than anything, it's just a lack of, Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto and that kind of stuff.
Okay. Rocket League?
A little bit of Rocket League. I think, all those other folks that are doing anything akin to mine have realized that Rocket League is really just for competitive teams, sadly, because I love it. But almost never do we have a 12-year-old roll up and say, hey, can I play Rocket League? Sure. I think it's probably happened like twice.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm about to die. I got one balloon. I don't even know what happens when you get one balloon.
I know. I found out about 6 times.
I think we'll do a race next, because these are fun. But now, let's get back to the good old days of Rainbow Road.
Yes.
Okay. I love that. So now let's move past the years of your, what did you call it?
I was not particularly studious. I cared far less about grades than college football and pretty girls.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I chased a girl to Stillwater. Not the lady I wound up with.
Yep.
Speaking of the ladies, we talked about ministry a little bit. You said I know we've talked about that before, and Young Life is on your jacket. You willing to talk about a little bit about ministry?
Yeah, happy to. So, I was actually a public school teacher. I worked for a group trying to bring the Olympics to town here in Dallas, and then as a public school teacher for 14 years. And we had a kind of a prayer group ministry that met once a week. And then I've done a lot, or I've done some with Young Life, and it's the kind of thing that we always give donations to as far as summer camps and things like that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, nothing like, my sister and brother-in-law actually met teaching Young Life. And I've never been quite that active.
Sure.
But yeah, very passionate about it. And I think that's one of the really cool things about esports and gaming in general, is that it is something that there's an amazing organization. And now, of course, on the spot, I can't think of the name, but they actually do. They started at Belong in Nashville, and they bring in 20, 30 kids, and they play games, and they have tournaments, and then they do a little witness and a little talk and eat Chick-fil-A and then play some more. And that's their bag. Carter, and he's probably not watching, but I'll get you that. It's like maybe Warriors. You know what? I'm going to pull it. If I pull it up,
I want to find it
stream.
No, I shouldn't. Just a different tab.
Okay.
Carter is the guy's name? Or...
he is one of the dudes.
It's
I'll
in
be able to
Dallas?
find it right here. No, they have a deal in Dallas, but then it's in Nashville, and I think they're branching out to Houston. Okay. Zach, Brandon, what's the name of their organization? Dadgummit. I would love to give them a shout out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warriors Gaming.
Warriors Gaming. Warriors Gaming.
Age 10 to 18, lunch and devotional, tournament with prizes. And they're part of the Soldiers for Faith Ministries.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I'm thinking about a different show to make around ministry. Another show around gaming and ministry. We've actually done a couple different things. I said my wife works for Alpha. We did Alpha for Gamers. We have a Discord for it. We've done it. It's like a video series. And
nice. All right. Solid. Yes, I remember that.
Yeah. And then my buddy in Manchester, England, George, he works for the Nazarene Church, and he actually is the director of gaming ministry for Europe and Asia for the Nazarene Church. I made a new lobby. I made a new lobby, by the way, a new room to change. And so, yeah, there's different. And then my best bud Kyle, who was in the chat at the beginning, he's a youth pastor, and we've done esports stuff together. And he's now a streamer. After him being in like wondering what it all was, and now he streams. He had no idea in 2019, and now he does it all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's way more influential on Twitch. He also is a comedian. He's done like stand up and been on Comedy Central, but he's a youth pastor.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna find Rainbow Road here.
Do it. Bring it.
There it is, right there. Oops. Rainbow Road. Give it to me. Oh, that's an expansion. Okay, I'm not able to find it. There it is. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, pow. Got it. Woo, okay. So, yeah, I'd love to create a show just about... I mean, I could play games with people and interview them, but I kind of want to do a gaming ministry show because we've met with people from like Lux Digital Church who run like an online church, but it's a bunch of gamers and they meet through Discord. And we wanted to do some like missionary work in the metaverse, I guess is what we called it 2 years ago. And we also, there's some people who are actually ministers for their church, but they are funded as missionaries for their church in the gaming space. So there's I can't remember the guy's name right now, but a preacher or something. He plays a lot of Apex Legends.
Okay.
And there's quite a few other people in this space who do that. And so I just wanted to kind of get people in the ministry world who are gamers just to kind of get on a show. So who knows if I'll have another show soon with that. We'll see.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Okay, cool. Well, I might,
you got one.
I'll ask you to be on it as well.
Okay, I'd love to.
And those in the chat, thank you guys for being here. Well, we just had a lot of people today. Everybody saw your Bitmoji character and was like, "This is cool."
Who's this?
Who's this? No. Who's this cool guy? He must like anime or something. He's cool. It's funny. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, yeah, we do a lot of Roblox and Minecraft stuff in our camps, and so I had that made, and in lieu of a fancy picture of my ugly mug, I sent that.
I like it. I think we should all just be avatars. Are you a how much do you dabble into what the metaverse is, and I got hit this guy, and plus Ready Player One and virtual reality and the history of the future of what we're becoming here with meta and everything else. What's your knowledge in that right now?
Yeah, it's all of it is as it relates to kids. I think as much as anything, I'm constantly trying to figure out not only what will kids like, what's the next thing that we can use as a tool for education, but then very, very cognizant and worried about keeping them safe. So anyway, most of what I know is in kind of relation to that, and I think for kids and a lot of what we teach is they don't fully appreciate, and we don't necessarily try to explain in great detail the difference in an algorithm and AI. But yeah, I think just letting them understand not only what it is, but then how to stay safe is really important.
I love that. Okay, so I want to jump into kind of what you do now, and I'd like to hear the iterations or the path to where you are now. You talked about being an educator, and you talked about the different spaces you've worked in, but what was the catalyst for doing what you do now?
Yeah, so I've always been an entrepreneur since I was a kid. I was the one, going to neighbors and wanting to rake their leaves and have garage sales and whatever. But yeah, so I taught middle school for 14 years, 7th grade Texas history.
Okay.
And then convinced my beautiful wife that we needed to open a Mathnasium franchise here in our neighborhood.
Right.
Eventually we had 3 of them, and then found this place called Techie Factory that was kind of a one-off here, and bought it expressly to franchise and be a franchisor instead of a franchisee, and got everything ready right before the pandemic.
Right.
And so needless to say, it went slowly. So since then, we've incorporated some licensing. So if you own a land center or a business, we can give you the turnkey STEAM camps. We like the A in STEAM because I think art is really important.
100%.
Yeah, and then as part of that, we realized that esports was an incredibly important thing for the future and for kids. I think one of my biggest takeaways while teaching as it relates to esports is that I distinctly remember when I first started teaching, you could go to a kid and say, hey, so we have no pass, no play. You need,
explain that.
well, so in the state of Texas, if you're not passing, you can't play sports.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah. And so, when I started seeing, I start talking about kids and then I start, okay, focus, Freddie. Yeah, so we had no pass, no play. And you go to a kid and say, hey, if you want to keep acting or singing or playing football or whatever, oh, great, the door's shut. You need to get your grades up. And they would.
Okay.
Well, after 6 or 7 years, Bubba, the kids started saying, oh, yeah, that's all right. I don't want to do the work. I'll just go home and play video games with my friends after school.
Okay.
And so literally seeing that kind of generational switch made me realize, yeah, we need to figure out how to use this for good. And so, yeah, so we do a lot of youth esports stuff. We work with some teams. I've been fortunate enough to partner with an amazing organization called Easter Seals. They have them all over the country. But there's a branch in Austin that got a state grant to put esports into some high schools down there and some middle schools. And so I've been working a lot on that while we're doing our licensing, and we're doing our in-person events that coincide with cheerleading and volleyball. That one's called BattleCity.
Okay.
So so working on all those. And then in the midst of that, I had a good friend reach out and say, hey, I wanna come up with a concept for drones and franchising. And so started kind of working on that now. So yeah, a lot of irons in the fire. I need more of them to produce more revenue, to keep the wife happy, but yeah, a lot going on, and a large percentage, if not all of it, deals with gaming and esports.
What does your wife do?
She is a teacher.
Okay.
When the franchising did not go as well as planned, she went back to the classroom and is in charge of insurance. And so she teaches middle school math.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah. Well, I got smoked at the end. I'm not gonna play in first anymore. It's just you get hit all the time.
Yep.
Okay. So a long journey. It sounds like.
Yes.
Where do you want your org to be in the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, I think for our licensing and franchising business, we just want to be able to help make entrepreneurs more successful. So when we owned the Mathnasiums, we realized that summer was terrible, because if your kid isn't in school and isn't struggling in math, you're not nearly as likely to send them. And so giving those folks an opportunity to have summer camps, to have some esports teams, to have drone racing teams, it could be really beneficial. And so really getting that word out to them. As far as Battle City, we just want to continue to grow it. We want to get to a point where we not only do the really large events, but we have a system where, so this weekend we'll have 45 setups.
Okay. Wow.
Between PCs and consoles.
Okay. Yeah.
We'll have 45 screens. So even more setups really for multiplayer stuff.
What facility is that in? They're going to be in?
It's at the Kay Bailey Convention Center, and we are in half a room at said convention center. So
how I love this kind of stuff, because so many years working in the Convention Visitor Bureau type stuff and running live events, there was always a disconnect for the event space on what kind of power do you need, what kind of internet do you need.
Yep.
How did that conversation go with
that's really funny. That's one of the questions we get asked the most, and rightfully so. So we did 3 events last year before we did our first really big one, and that was at the convention center in Orlando. And we had everything figured out and set up, and then we went to the folks who provide Wi-Fi and electricity for the convention center, and they said, okay, yeah, that'll be $150,000.
Yes, exactly.
For 2 drops.
Yeah.
What?
Right.
We're hoping to make 3, 4, 5 grand profit. So that won't work.
Yeah.
Well, my brilliant friend, who we actually partner with them because they have most of the equipment we need. My brilliant friend Taylor said, well, let's try some hotspots. And, you know, I think fortunate for us, it's not a hardcore tournament scene.
Yeah.
You know, it's play by the hour. So if it's a hair laggy, that's okay. Kid doesn't care because they don't have to be watching Big Sister or Big Brother play volleyball or cheer.
Yeah.
And so, so we use just regular old hotspots that you would get for your business or your apartment or your house.
What? Wow.
And they work great.
Because what games? Well, the games you're playing, are you just gonna try local or local?
So on a lot of the Switch, we do local, but then the other, no. Like we probably had 18 kids playing Fortnite 3 weeks ago at our event, and never had it. We had one PC that got laggy for 45 seconds.
Okay.
That's
wow.
it.
That's
Yeah.
intense.
Yes. And so, you know, that's part of figuring out. So if we crate 20 setups and just send them on the truck with the cheer folk.
That was not the last lap. Sorry. I thought the game was over. Oh my god, I went from 2nd to 7th, 8th. Sorry. So
No,
okay.
Go. Anyway, so so that's one of our kind of issues, that there will certainly be facilities where the hotspot isn't good enough. And we need to figure out how to figure out which ones those are.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
So an esports tournament definitely would not survive with that. But yes, recreational play, and that is, infrastructure is there now.
Yeah.
Totally makes sense. And you're right. 150K is usually what people will say, that because they're basing it off of, oh, you're gonna do a wedding show with 100 booths. Okay, great. So everybody can pay us $100 each, and you'll have 150 booths, right? Okay, great. So you're taken care of.
Yeah.
They don't know how to scale. These event places don't understand scaling for esports events.
Right.
Totally an issue. I've seen it so much. Yes, 150K is almost an average amount of money I hear for esports events. Even the one here in Kansas City, it's just a corner of a room of a convention hall, and it's like 10 computers, and the convention hall is going to have 80,000 people coming through a Comic-Con basically.
Yeah.
And still this one area, it's $150,000 to give you internet. Like, are you're crazy. The one time the guy was like, well, we're just going to run a 2,000 foot cable from next door. I love that you can do Wi-Fi. That's actually really the hotspots. So do you hotspot and all the systems are on Wi-Fi, or do you like hotspot to a switch that then is pulling? What do you do?
No, it's we hotspot to switches and routers and plug in, or use the Wi-Fi for the consoles.
Hey Peyton on LinkedIn. I love this kind of chat while playing games. It's how I've made so many friends, just talking while gaming online. 100%, man. I was finishing up this book today. Good game. I can't remember what it's called. Pete Etchel's gaming, something about good gaming. And his last kind of thought was he had played Halo with his friend growing up. Oh, maybe in their college years, and him and his buddy would play Halo and hang out, and sometimes they just ride around in the Warthog and just drive and shoot stuff and not even really play multiplayer, and they could talk or not talk, and that was how they hang out. Then the story got crazy, and then Steve, he passed away, and I stopped playing Halo because it was just so hard, and I didn't want to get back on there, but I found a way to get back on and really play in honor of my friend. It was just an incredible,
cool.
Like, the guy had a really good story. He had some amazing stories about his father and gaming, and I have to look at the book name right now, but
Yeah.
I always love talking about that, of just I call it windshield time in, talking to your kids, as we do in ministry, and like just get in the car and talk to your kid. Maybe they want to talk to them about the birds and the bees. Well, go do it in front of the windshield while you're driving.
Yeah.
And teach them about things. And same thing with video games. Like, we just chill and we talk or not talk. Do you feel when that kind of topic right there? You love students, you love working with students. What benefits are you seeing with your events and your facilities? What do you love the most about when kids come and play?
And the Easter Seals folks will love to hear this, but I think my favorite thing, Bubba, is that we get a lot of kids who are neurodivergent, who are on the spectrum.
Sure.
And because what we do is great for them, and they generally enjoy it like most kids do. And so, to have a camp, and people who know me have heard me say this a million times, but I genuinely love this. To have a camp where a mom comes in to get her kid and is literally crying because her kid has never wanted to be around other children this much, and never actually want to stay at a camp. Oh, now the dogs are playing in this room that I'm in. But yeah, that mom gets teary-eyed. Is really that special moment, and knowing that a lot of what we're doing not only can help, at-risk kids, but kids on the spectrum and such makes me very happy.
I love that. What kind of support or conversations are you having about, don't blow up? No, I ran in my own bomb and I'm first place. Come on. What kind of conversations with, no, the red, I'm sorry, I'm getting hit with all the things at the finish line.
I'm an 8.
Oh my gosh. Oh my Lord. I was so far ahead and lucky that I got hit 3 times with shells in the last 100 yards. Okay, neurodivergence. I love talking about neurodivergence and the scale and the circle. And because 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, I got diagnosed with ADHD myself, and it's changed my perspective on everything, just because I have tools now. I have tools, and I'm aware of why I behave this way. And I don't even take I don't take Adderall. I take a non-stimulant, and so it just really just helps me with my tabs in my windows. Just be able to just basically sort everything and not be foggy. And you talked about working with neurodivergent kids. And I think social kind of socializing with kids as well, other kids. Is there anything you guys are doing in the sign of research or education with students about neurodivergence, or I don't know, is there anything you want to do or you are doing when it comes to helping educate parents beyond the game?
Parents, yes. Kids, no. So a lot of the kids we work with, like there's a school in Austin called Greenleaf, and those kids, we've recently started working with those guys to game and potentially game competitively. So they already know, and their parents already know, they see the values. But as far as those kind of one-off moms, we love talking to them, and nice. We'll randomly have one of them say, my kid's doctor suggested you guys, and I have never met said doctor. So to know that that's happening, I think is really great. But in a really broad sense, are we doing any kind of formal education for parents? No. We talk to them when they're with us, and
like resources, or like what resources would you recommend to a parent, like online or just for, I don't know, why is my kid so angry when he gets off the game? Like that's a conversation that we all tend to have.
Yeah, I think for something like that, we talk a lot about that stuff, and I think anyone in this industry. There was a great podcast yesterday that ESTA had that I really enjoyed, and so I think there are a lot of educators doing a lot of really cool things. For me, we really talk about balance and
that's good.
and just kind of for most parents, I think the more you can relate it to traditional sports or traditional activities, the better, because it makes more sense to them. But I mean, I don't know. There isn't necessarily a book that I recommend. It's really just conversations, and parents seemingly get it relatively quickly. So,
Yeah.
So I don't have a great answer for that, Bob. It was a wonderful question, but I don't have a particularly good or profound answer, sadly.
Well,
I'll
give you the resources. Okay.
Do it.
Yeah, I'll give you all the resources. You can use
I
them
love
whenever
that.
you want. Or you can have me speak on Zoom or whatever to parents if you want.
I would love that.
Okay, great. Sign me up.
Okay,
Well,
and
time.
Easter Seals actually has an esports group, and I think they're in St. Louis, but they're certainly closer to your neck of the woods than mine. So I may put you in touch with them if you don't mind.
100%.
Some Midwesterners.
Yeah. Well, where'd you grow up though?
I grew up here in Dallas.
Oh, you did? Okay. Well, I grew up in Oklahoma, so I mean, we're not
whereabouts?
too far removed. I grew up in Oklahoma City, and then obviously I lived in Stillwater for some time. Worked at the YMCA, and and then we moved up here in 2011. I was working for the YMCA, and so Oklahoma City, good living.
Where'd you go to high school?
I went to John Marshall High School in North Side, Oklahoma City.
Sure.
It's since has moved a little more north, closer to the police station, because we were fun and trouble all the time. Come on, give me that first place. Give me that first place. We always thought it was funny. Our school got moved next to the police station down the road because we just always, our teachers cared. Our teachers were great, but a lot of school in the inner city was attendance, hopefully to get your kids here. Hopefully we want your kids to be in school, and we want them to be safe. And that was, so I graduated with a 2.5 GPA. I was not a great student. And so the idea of college wasn't in my sights until I played soccer in college. So, anyways, that's where I grew up. It was fun. Wouldn't change it. Wouldn't have changed it for anything.
Nice.
Peyton on LinkedIn says, I'd love to get in contact with you. I own a sports/esports streaming company, and I'd love to put out some of your games on the big screen. Interesting. I'd love to learn, Peyton, about what you on do. LinkedIn. Oops. I gotta find how to get to your. There we go. Peyton Childers. I'll connect with you, man. He lives in Fort Worth. Okay.
Oh, nice.
That's close. Suited Pair Productions. Tell us more, Peyton.
Yeah, hit me up, Peyton.
Hey, looked like he used to do stuff with the Texas Rangers. Okay, cool, bro. Cool. Yeah, he's Freddie's LinkedIn profile is in the description on LinkedIn there if you want to connect with him on LinkedIn. Okay, so we talked about kind of where you want to be in the next few years, but let's wrap up with the last 10 minutes. What does the gaming and let's just start with recreational gaming, then we'll go to esports, because we live in those worlds. What does the gaming world need? What is it missing? What are we doing wrong? What can we fix? What can we do better? Or I surely we complain about stuff, so you gotta have something that you've been cooking.
I know exactly
marinating.
What it is.
Okay, what's wrong in the gaming industry?
Well, let's say esports.
Okay, let's go with esports first.
Yeah. So kids.
Kids are wrong. No, I'm just kidding.
Kids are so wrong. I taught 7th grade. I told you those kids are nuts. Yeah, it's kids. It's having, complexity, having a kids club, and they get a little jersey, and there's some meet and greets, and there's some virtual stuff, and they play titles that they want, and then they learn to support complexity, and that's what they grow up supporting, and that doesn't exist. So much of what we do is geared towards adults, and rightfully so. But I think, finding ways to get away from Twitch. I think finding ways to be more kid friendly. That doesn't mean that all of your titles and teams and players have to be that way, but certainly having some that are kid and family friendly, I think, is very important. And I'm not saying this as kind of a prude. I'm genuinely think that's kind of the answer, that it's kids, and making what esports is more accessible to them and their families. I think that's how you build the audience and the sustainability. As far as gaming, we're never.
I want to
go. Go.
You said.
Please.
So accessibility. What the Twitch thing? You're saying it's not this. There's less
Twitch isn't appropriate for 10-year-olds,
right?
12-year-olds.
Right.
And we want those kids to be able to root for their favorite players and their favorite titles. And they can't do that right now. And there are all these parents on here right now who are like, my kid's on Twitch. What are you saying, punk? But as someone who has been around kids, has worked with kids most of my adult life, I think, there are certain things that you want to protect them from. Not to be a prude, but because they're emotionally not ready. Their brain chemistry isn't there yet. Yeah. So just figuring out ways to make esports more family appropriate, kid appropriate, I think is hugely important, and we'll save it in air quotes.
Yeah. Well, Hey, Rugged Nerd on Twitch. Yes, the Twitch doesn't allow 13-year-olds. You're right. Oh wait, or does it? There is. I mean, I've been pretty particular about my kids. Like, okay, start my 12-year-old man. Like I know you want to stream. I know you want to be dad. You want to make invite sent junior is what he wants to do.
Awesome.
But you can't stream yet on anything right now, YouTube or anything. But there's 6-year-olds streaming Call of Duty. So
there is.
Yeah, that's why we have rating systems for movies and rating system for games, other things, because it's a guide, and to each parent it's their own. And Rugged Nerd James says there's a lot of truth in the emotional maturity and the way our world tries to levy so much beyond appropriate for our kiddos. James and I went to China together and did mission trips together back in the day. So
cool.
With soccer, so it's he's got some good kiddos, and but the question about Twitch, it's funny because yesterday I had a phone call with a lady from the Netherlands, and she has created what's called Guardian Gamer, and I was kind of pushing back because there's tools and there's ways as parents should guide our kids. Now, do we? No. Did the what to expect, when to expect book before we had a baby? Yeah. And then now they're teenagers and we don't know what to do. We don't know what to read because we haven't put the effort in. Yeah, because we don't put the effort in, and we got to do more. And we essentially as Americans rely a lot on our teachers and our educators because we're 9 to 5 trying to make sure that these teachers who don't get paid a lot babysit our kids because blah blah blah.
Because we gotta work.
Yeah,
because we have more important stuff.
Yes. Thanks for coming over on LinkedIn. Appreciate it. And so there's guides, but her tool I thought was pretty cool. Is kids would stream. Kids would play games with their friends, but she used a platform that allowed parents to see on an app the stream with their kids, so they could kind of get used to it and understand it. Because we know when parents walk up behind their game, especially like my parents walking up to watch a World of Warcraft, like, what the crap is this? And so people don't understand what's going on typically. I mean, Mario Kart, you probably understand, we're driving, or Rocket League.
Right.
But now she's got this platform where kids play and their parents can stream it and they can watch it, and it's not like a Twitch, but the idea of just like I'm watching the stream of my kid play soccer because grandma and granddad are in a different country or a different state. Now grandma and grandpa get to watch the stream or something of a soccer game. It's kind of the mentality she's got around it. So it's kind of cool, but I definitely want to learn more, and I'll keep pushing back. But I do appreciate that about you're right. And for that matter, Kick is not any better than Twitch. It's actually worse. I actually had a guy a couple years ago who said, hey, I'm creating a streaming platform, and I think he did, but it's like, we're not going to put restrictions on what you stream. And it's like, there was basically it was OnlyFans before OnlyFans, pretty much is what it was. I don't know how well he did, but it didn't pan out, I'm sure.
Yep.
So yeah, where's the spot? Where's the place for our kids? I think you're right. The students and us educating them, but it's us parents too, not just relying on our teachers and preachers.
Yeah, no doubt.
So you were talking about gaming next. What is gaming missing? We talked about esports. What's gaming missing in the sense of what we need to fix, or what do we need to do better, or what are we missing?
Just cordiality, right? I mean,
nice.
I think there's Thanks, Captain Obvious. Again, I think, things that are appropriate are really important. And if some 30-year-old is going to berate my 12-year-old because they're good at whatever title, then that's not good. And if they can't have fun playing with people their own age because they're not good enough or something like that, I think that's a significant issue. So, there are a lot of, you mentioned the woman in the Netherlands, there are a lot of folks like Gamer Safer, a company that I'm familiar with that we've worked with. They're doing some amazing stuff. There's a company called Game Safe. There's Samurai Labs. There's an inordinate amount of folks trying to work on the problem, but it's just, we got to find who's got that great solution and worry about adoption and get some of these bigger platforms to worry about adoption. Because I think, like Twitch, like if you have talked to your kid about life and death and war, and your 9-year-old wants to play COD, okay, I'm totally good with that. If that's your kid and that's your relationship and you've done a great job parenting, sweet. But they shouldn't be on Twitch, because that has nothing to do with maturity. It's about some Yahoo in, California who's going to be spitting out ridiculously crass things at them that they're just not ready for. So, I cannot hear you.
Oh, sorry, I muted because I was coughing. The question for James says, he's got a couple things here. I would love for parents to be more engaged in knowing who the kids are playing with, not just what. Yeah, and what you control is fairly easy if you try. I agree. And then immature children have engaged the entire, best case, your kid is 1 in 10 million that helps you make a living and have, maybe I don't follow James. I think what really gets around to it, is my kids, if they're wanting to play with somebody, I gotta know the parents. Just as much as if you want to go hang out with them, I gotta know the parents. I gotta know who it is.
Yeah.
And that's why he plays private modes in Lego Fortnite and Lego other things, or Fortnite stuff. My 8-year-old, because I just don't know yet.
Yeah. I get that.
So I'm going to give you the hot seat, 60 seconds, all you, by yourself. You get to talk about whatever you want to talk about, promote whatever you want to promote, follow socials, whatever you want to say. You got 60 seconds. It's all yours. You're in the hot seat. Ready, go.
Yeah, I don't have much. I mean, I talked about all of it, but yeah, we'd love to. If you have a big event and you want to get some more kids in there, we'd love to help with that. If you have a land center and want to run summer camps and triple your money this summer, reach out. But yeah, I love meeting people, and I think half the people I named in here were from LinkedIn or Esports Trade Association, and so meeting more people is always great. So feel free to hit me up, and if you have any questions or want to tell me I'm ridiculous and bad at Mario Kart, feel free.
No. We had some fun. I mean, I had fun, but I was also.
I enjoyed it.
I think I put it on normal or easy mode for the characters.
I appreciate that.
Oh, Yakman over on Twitch. Yes, hello, Sweden from Sweden. How are you, man? How you been?
Hey.
I haven't seen you in a while, bud. So I appreciate you, man. I don't want to keep talking more. Let's get this show together about ministry, and I'm gonna send my Discord to you so you can maybe check out some other stuff in the gaming and ministry space. And
yeah.
And so when am I gonna see you next in another event?
I don't know. Are you gonna come to DreamHack down here?
No, I'm not going to that one. I am going to Dallas in May for the Collegiate Esports Commissioners Cup at Esports Arlington.
Okay.
May 3rd through 5th, I'll be there. I know there's
Hit me
also
up.
Danielle's having her thing in San Antonio. The undisputed esports high school championship thing is going on too.
I'm hoping to bring one or two of the teams I'm working with the grant on there. And then I would love to, talking about ministry and gaming, the Church of England here in the States, it's called the Episcopal Church. If you ever know anyone with the Church of England or the Episcopal Church and want to start kind of a gaming ministry, I would love to work on that with you, as I am a lazy Catholic. We're often known.
So that's my confusion. Is the Church of England and the Catholic Church are the same, right?
No, the Church of England and the Episcopal Church.
Episcopal Church. Okay, that's what I thought.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, there is a lot of opportunity. One of the big callings we feel when we go over there, we met all these students in October when we went to London, is like, oh my gosh, it would be fun to do our alpha with them and do stuff to just connect them and ask them questions. There's an alpha Catholic context as well. I'm gonna send you that stuff. If I'm guessing you know what alpha is. You sound like it, but if I can send it to you as well.
Yes, I watched some of it when you first came out with it, and
right.
I know the guy in charge of Belong UK.
Okay.
So I can get you venues for
like Belong, like the esports arenas, like Wimstock's old thing.
Yes. So the US version closed.
Yeah.
The original Belongs in the UK are still open, and there's like 30 of them around the country.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just UK thing. Okay. UK. There we go. Or North England.
Really good dude. I can't remember his name right now.
Manchester.
But
I bet you the Manchester one. Oh my, Central England. Okay. Wow. South. Portsmouth. Scotland.
They're all over.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah, I'd love to connect. For sure.
They're much smaller. They do not look like the Belongs here.
Sure.
But yeah.
Okay. Dope. Freddie, I'm gonna shut down the show, man. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming to chat and play. And this was difficult to play and talk, but we did it.
Barely.
Hopefully we'll get to hang out in May sometime. And man, I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you, and it's always good talking, whether it's on here or in person. But yeah, let's catch up, hopefully in San Antonio and or Dallas.
Okay, dope.
All right, Bubba, which is funny because I call everyone Bubba.
Yeah.
And you're an actual Bubba.
It's you gotta have a Bubba in your life or in your family. It's just part of the American way.
Yep.
All you guys out there in Sweden, there's no Bubbas probably in Sweden. But
No.
we are very good here in America as the Bubbas. Well, all right, man. I'm gonna shut down the control room. I appreciate you, sir.
See you, homie. Thanks.
See ya. Bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today. Thanks, man. So many fun people coming. Rugged Nerd, Yachman, Kyle Party 64, Peyton. We got Rhett, Brian and Margie, my parents, or my mom and my brother, Thomas Woodhams. Thank you so much, you guys, for being here today. Ton of fun playing Mario Kart. If you are around on these same channels, again, on Friday, I'm going to have JD Carrier from, well, he works in a lot of different things, but he's a founder of Storm Surge, and he's really got some cool history with Rick Fox and esports and League of Legends and working with FaZe Clan and whatnot. He'll be on the show on Friday at 3 Central, 4 Eastern. Next week, on Wednesday, we're gonna have a special episode of Invite Sent where we are going to have Renee Gittins. She used to be the executive director of the International Game Developers Association, and she now has created a game for an indie game. Here, I'm gonna pull it up here on my screen. This is the show on next Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern. Her game is called Potions of Curious Tale. Now, I downloaded it a few weeks ago, and I haven't played it because I want to walk through it. But this is kind of one of my first special episodes where we're doing indie game. So I'm trying to get more indie games on and play games that people created and actually have the creators. I've done it before, but this one is going to be pretty awesome. Zach Teep is on Friday the 8th. And I know we're going to do some other shows coming up soon with Victor from the Army Esports West Point is going to be on March 14th. And we're going to go through his arena on the Rave Esports show. Look at all the cool stuff he's done with Extron. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. Stay amazing. See ya.
Hello there, gamers and mental health enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a groundbreaking study that explores the intersection of scholarly gaming and mental health education and how it can impact the self-esteem of adolescents. Picture this: a world where scholarly gaming isn't just about mastering technology-based career skills or dominating the world of video game business. No, it's a world where gaming becomes a gateway to improving mental health. 3 visionary educators and a school-based health intervention expert came together to create a curriculum that aligns with academic guidelines from the International Society for Technology Education. This curriculum spans 40 lessons, delivered over 14 weeks with a minimum of 120 minutes per week. But here's the twist: 83 schools were invited to participate, but they were divided into 2 groups, those with mental health moments and those without. The non-mental health moment group got the scholarly gaming curriculum alone, while the mental health moment group got an extra layer of education. Mental health moments were embedded into 27 lessons, integrating concepts from the PERMA framework and the collaborative academic, social, and emotional learning standards, otherwise known as CASEL. Now, let's meet our players. 471 participants from both groups, with almost 75% in high school, many experiencing scholarly gaming for the first time. A majority were male, and the racial diversity was broad. At the start, the average self-esteem score was 17.9, with 22.1% reporting low self-esteem. But hold on, the game's just beginning. As the study progressed, it revealed some fascinating results. While 57.7% of participants with low self-esteem at the beginning reported average self-esteem post-intervention, the mental health moments group stole the spotlight. Self-esteem scores improved by 8.3% in the mental health moments group, compared to no change in the non-mental health moments group. How's that for a power-up? Some students even shifted from abnormally low self-esteem scores to normal ranges. The message is loud and clear. Educators, healthcare providers, and adolescent advocates pay attention. Non-traditional educational instructions, like scholarly gaming, combined with mental health moments, can significantly improve students' well-being. And there you have it, a journey through the power of scholarly gaming and mental health moments. Remember, your self-esteem matters, and sometimes all it takes is a little extra support to level up. Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Until next time, keep gaming, keep learning, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself.
Life is busy. Every day we ask questions like, what's happening today? What should I wear? How am I going to fit everything in? But then there are bigger questions like, why am I here? What's my purpose? Where am I heading? Is there more to life than this? These are some of life's big questions, but there's rarely enough time to think them through. That's why Alpha exists. Alpha is a place to